All right, the attendance tonight was 20,664. It was sold out. Gate was 13.6 million. That's the third highest gate at MSG. UFC holds 1 through 5, 7, 9, and 10 all time at MSG. 2 more years will be the top 10, all 10 of the top 10. The performance of the nights were Nickal, BSD, Pradas, and Morales. They all won 50 grand.
Well, Dana, in the end, a much more dominant fight for Islam than maybe we thought. I thought maybe it was going to be a bit more 50-50.
I agreed with you.
What did you think of his performance, Jack's performance, and the whole fight?
Yeah, I mean, you know, not the most exciting title fight you'll ever see, but let me tell you what, complete dominance, and it's depending on what we do next with him and what's going on, this guy's headed toward GOAT talk.
Right, and that's the thing, right? What exactly do you do next with him? It's no surprise there's a lot of guys who want to fight him. Kamaru Usman, Shavkat, Ilia Topuria is calling him out. Is the Ilia fight, that's obviously the biggest fight, right? But is that one you would like to look at, or would you rather keep Ilia at 55 and make him defend that championship at least?
I don't know yet. You know, obviously the great thing that you just laid out is we have a lot of options.
Yeah.
And it depends on what he wants to do. Has he been through here yet?
Islam, no.
No. So does he want to stay at 170? Is he interested in 155? Is he, you know, I don't know. I don't know any of those questions. You know what I mean? Answers.
Yeah, I'm getting the sense we're going to hear the words White House quite a lot from fighters over the next few months. Islam is already calling for that. Is that, I think when we think about the White House, it's almost like, oh, does it have to be America versus the world themed and stuff like that? For you, would you be happy putting a non-American main event on that card?
Yeah, it's not America versus the world. It's what's the best card we can build.
So could Islam end up on the White House?
We're talking about him possibly, you know, GOAT talk here, depending on what he does in his next couple of fights. So it's a possibility.
And then speaking of GOAT talk again, Valentina Shevchenko, another crazy dominant performance. I saw you did a podcast where you said that fight would never be boring, and then it turned out that Valentina just kind of smoked her. Curious your thoughts on that fight as well.
Yeah, I thought that, you know, Weili's a little pit bull. I thought she would she would be much stronger and do better in that fight than she did. One of my buddies texted me after the fight and said, "This is why we have weight classes."
I mean, Zhang's a very strong woman, and Valentina just kind of threw her around like no business. Would you be interested in Valentina maybe moving back to 135 to try and test herself, or are you okay with her making those calls?
I don't know. I'm not even thinking about that kind of shit.
Okay. And last one from me. Yesterday, Jorge Masvidal did a Q&A, and he said that the UFC is mad at him for something. He wouldn't get into details.
I was just talking to him 30 minutes ago.
Why are you mad at him?
I have no idea. I didn't know I was.
Okay, cool.
We're definitely not mad at him.
He wants to come back and fight at the White House.
I got no problem. I have no problem with him.
Right here. The rest of the main card, a couple of star-making performances in Mike Morales and Carlos Pratas. I know you guys have always been high on Carlos, but to put away Leon like that and you know, calling himself the most entertaining fighter in the division, just what did you make of his kind of, you know, like I said, star-making performance out there?
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you get these kind of opportunities, you know, like Ewing tonight, I mean, when you get an opportunity, you come to make the most of it. And there was a lot of that on the card tonight.
Well, I was going to ask about Ewing, but I'll ask now. You know, he laid out his last 48 hours. He got the call, caught a plane at 11, got to New York at 7:30, stepped on the scale at 9 a.m., said he's always going to be ready and just wants the rocket now. So I guess those last 48 hours have to be one of the most wildest ones for you guys.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, definitely for him. You know, when he came to the weigh-ins yesterday, I was like, hey, man, you know, much respect. What an incredible opportunity for you. And no matter what happens tomorrow night, I'm going to be sending you something in the mail. And, you know, I love these guys. It's like the guys that are just coming off the contender. I mean, you got Jack Della, who tonight was the champion, defending against a potential GOAT. And then you got the other guys that were on the card tonight, and then throwing a kid like Ewing, it's awesome. It's what makes this sport so fun.
And then speaking of Michael Morales, not just his performance today, but kind of all week at the press conference, he kind of came off as a superstar. He got most of the questions. He's had the longest media day. There's a ton of Ecuadorian media here specifically for him. So you've got to see money with him moving forward.
Listen, he's obviously incredible. He's 19-0. He's cool as hell, and yeah, he's got it all. You can check all the boxes with that kid.
And then just last one for me, a reaction to Bo Nickal's head kick knockout and then getting on the cage and giving the double birds to the New York crowd.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, yeah, I did see that. What was that about? I was in the back. What, were they booing him or something?
He
or?
said he was, quote, standing up for myself. If you're going to give me grief, I'm going to give it back to you.
No. I don't give a shit. I mean, that's yeah. I hear you. I just didn't know why he was flipping him off. I don't know if they were booing him or what was going on. He's had a rough week. Well, that's a hell of a way to end it.
Dana, you were obviously here for Anderson Silva's incredible run in the UFC. Islam Makhachev ties his record for 16 consecutive wins. Like, such crazy things can happen in the sport. Eye pokes, disqualifications, stuff like that. How remarkable is what he's done, matching that record 12 years after Anderson's streak ended?
Yeah, so I was like, Habib came up to me, freaking out and screaming and says, "Can I put the belts on him, please?" I said, "Yeah." He goes over there and wraps him over the head with both the belts. I think he took more damage in getting his belts than he did during the fight. And I was saying to Habib, I've been in the fight business since I was 20 years old, and all I ever hear is, this guy's going to be a world champion, this guy's going to do this guy's going to do that. Everybody says the same thing, and almost nobody ever does or makes it. His father said, Habib will go in and dominate, and he'll have a run, and when he's done, and then Islam will come in behind him and do the same. And, holy shit, it played out exactly the way his father said, which is pretty amazing. I don't know what you asked me, but I hope I answered your question.
No, it's just his winning streak matching Anderson Silva's record. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everything that this kid's accomplished, and to move up and weight and say what you want about Jack and the odds, the odds makers had him a big. I didn't. I thought that fight was going to be much, much tougher for Islam. And Jack's a tough kid and gritty. And he beat Bilal, and Bilal's a nightmare for a lot of people. I thought it was going to be a lot closer than it was. So hats off to Islam for dominating.
Yeah. How much of a say will he get in who he wants to fight out of all these guys? Pre-fight, he was saying, like, Kamaru Usman's the greatest welterweight, the biggest name. I think he wants that as, like, a legacy kind of fight. Maybe, like, John won with Stipe or something.
It's a great problem to have. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many, like when he started, he was walking through Shavkat and Usman and, Ilya, and the list goes on and on. It's a great problem to have, especially when you start talking about this kid is a couple fights away from possible GOAT talk.
And I know this is the fight game. Crazy stuff happens all the time, especially behind the scenes. But I was right there on press row when that crazy brawl broke out with Dillon Danis and the member of Habib's team and stuff. Can you just tell us how disappointed you were to see that, and any insight into the fallout?
I blame myself for that, actually. They came back and told me right before I walked out for the main card that Dillon Danis was here, and he was moving around, sitting in fighter seats and not sitting in his own seat that he had. He had a ticket. And they said, "Do you want us to throw him out of here?" And I said, "He has a ticket?" And I said, "Yeah." And, they told me, they said, Masvidal said he's going to fuck him up on sight. And I said, "Well, where's Masvidal sitting?" He said, "Well, he's 6 or 7 rows away from Masvidal." I said, "Well, if the guy has a ticket, let him sit in his seat and let him do what he's doing and keep an eye on him." It never even crossed my mind, as stupid as this could be, that the entire Muslim Brotherhood was here tonight in the first 5 rows for Islam. And as soon as it broke out, I was over on the other side, and I go, fuck. I know exactly what that is. I knew it. And, yeah. You will never see Dillon Danis at a UFC fight ever again.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's wanted badly to come in this company, and he said you guys don't want to sign him because he makes too much trouble. I guess, point made.
Well, that and a lot of other reasons,
yeah.
But yeah, you'll never see him at another fight. So they called me from downstairs and they said, "We got him down here. Do you want to press charges and have him arrested?" And I said, "No, we don't want to press charges. This is the fight business, man. You know how I feel about this shit. And I could have prevented this tonight, and I messed up."
Yeah. Anyone else get arrested or anything like that in the fall?
Not that I'm aware of. No. Okay. We're not pressing charges. I'm not speaking for MSG or anybody else that was involved in this thing. I don't know, but we, the UFC, are not pressing charges against anybody.
Cool. And just last with me, we're here halfway through November. No fights announced for 2026 yet. I know you guys are working on a lot of stuff, but when could we maybe start expecting dates and fight announcements?
Yeah, we got, obviously, the first fight on Paramount that we got to put together, and then after this year ends, the big one is the White House fight. So, I don't know. We'll get it done, though.
Dana, straight down here, down the middle. What are your thoughts on where Leon Edwards goes now from here? 3 losses in a row, and they've progressively got worse. So
Yeah, this was a rough one tonight. I don't know. Leon will go home, take some time, and then we'll get back with him and see what he's thinking, where his head is at, and go from there.
Do you think perhaps his best days are behind him?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, listen, when you get in there, you know, there was a lot of buzz on this card. You know why? Because every one of these fights was badass tonight. That's why. And you know, anything can happen when you get in there and start mixing it up with the best in the world. So.
Fair enough. And final one from me. A few weeks removed from the UFC 321, which had the unfortunate eye poke of Tom Aspinall. I'm curious, have you spoken to Tom in recent weeks, and is there any update on him?
There's no update. You know, what he needs to do is stay home, get well, stay off the internet, and start training and get ready to come back.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Dana, over here.
Yep.
You mentioned Islam as a potential GOAT, so I was wondering, how do you think the pound-for-pound ranking is going to look like next Monday?
What do I think the pound for pound is going to look like?
Yeah.
I think Islam's going to be number one. That's what I think.
And if you,
But it's not up to me. It's up to you guys. You guys are the guys that vote on that shit, not me.
and if you had to, we know you like to do.
And you're usually wrong, so it'll probably be Ilya on
And if you had to do a GOAT ranking as of right now, currently, would John Jones still be the first one?
Yes, John Jones is still the GOAT, whether you like it or not. Go ahead, sir. You had, yeah.
I want to talk about the main event. You said it wasn't the most exciting fight. You're not scared to criticize the ref. Do you think Herb Dean should have stood him up? There wasn't that much action going on.
No. I think that, you know, in both fights, the co-main and main, you know, they got the takedown. They got the dominant position. They were trying to work. They were trying to move. You know, it's definitely not what everybody wants to see, but it is what everybody in this room and everybody who watches this press conference knew what the game plan would be. If Jack couldn't stop the takedown, then he at least better be able to get back to his feet. And if he couldn't, you knew how this was going to play out.
Every single week, it seems like you're asked about a different location. You say you want to go here, you want to go there. In 2026, 2027, will we start seeing you more on the road and less Apex shows?
I've been home like fucking 10 days this year. Are we not traveling enough for you, sir? Yeah. No, we're going to keep doing exactly what... I seriously, what have I been home? I've been home like 8 or 9 days in the last 40 days. You want me to never go home, sir? Is that what you're asking me? Less Apex shows. We're definitely doing less Apex shows. Yeah.
All right, and my last question. You do, besides doing shows, you go to like special locations. I think you went to the Spear, you went to the White House. Do you have anything else, like a specific location you want to go to? Not necessarily a city, but like a spot.
Spain. Yeah, we haven't done Spain. Yeah.
Just right here, sir. Talking about Europe, can you give us any news about the potential rematch between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane?
About the rematch with
Aspinall.
What about it?
Any potential
some
news
news?
about the...
I just answered that.
Oh, didn't do it. Sorry.
Welcome to the press conference, sir.
No, sorry. Second one, Benoit Saint-Denis asked for a BMF title. Does he have the right profile for you to get this belt?
I don't know. I'm, you know, he did, yes, and you know, I don't even think about that stuff tonight. You know, we'll fly home tonight, have all day tomorrow, get back in the office Monday, and then Tuesday we start. You know what I mean? I don't even think about that stuff tonight.
Thanks.
But I understand. Listen, he wants to fight for the BMF. Prodis tonight was all over me. He wanted to get back into the octagon and, you know, square off with Islam, and, you know, everybody's all fired up tonight. We got to take some time to figure out what we're going to do next.
And just little one, we have three number one contender in France: Manon Fiorot, Cyril Gane, and Nassourdine Imavov. Can we have big events in France, like more than a fight night in the future?
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is I always talk about going to the UK and seeing events, the crowds, and all this stuff. Listen, France is pound for pound, and the mix for as far as crowds go. So I'm also one of the owners of SLS Skate League. We just did a skate competition there, and the French kid pulled off a trick there, and the place went crazy, and it was sold out. Everybody started throwing their water bottles into it's pretty badass in France, the live events. So the long-winded answer to your question is yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dana, straight ahead. I know the focus is on 322, and rightfully so, but big picture, I mean, what you guys did in Vegas with Canelo and Crawford, tonight at MSG, planning for the White House card. You've come so far from working for Peter Welch in Selfie.
He's here tonight, yeah.
Is he really? Yeah. Is there a lesson that you still hold on to from that time? I mean, it's amazing where you were and where you are now.
Yeah, what's the question?
A lesson that you learned from Peter back, I think you were 19, 20 back then?
I learned everything from him. Everything about the fight business I learned from him.
Everything you still hold, the principles you still apply now?
Well, different. I mean, learned the fight game from him, and then I had to get into, when Lorenzo, Frank, and I did our first live event, we'd never done a production ever. We'd never done production. It was our first time ever. So there's obviously been a lot of on-the-job, training for me. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Peter.
And it's amazing how, just to follow up on that, the expectations, they grow bigger every year. You just mentioned Spain. I mean, that's a long way away from your first ever production. I mean, it's amazing. Again, the growth year by year.
Yeah, well, the two biggest things that, first, the Sphere. I mean, I thought we'd open the gateway, and you notice nobody's going to the fucking Sphere to try to do what we did. Literally nobody is. And then now pulling off the White House is... The Sphere was technically challenging, and this is going to be logistically challenging.
And in terms of, you mentioned Spain, Madrid, Barcelona, probably the big cities if you did get to go there?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
John Armour here from Tunnel Vision Sports. You kind of spoke about having a good problem in this aspect. How do you feel about the overall depth of the current fighters on your roster in a full circle moment?
How do I feel about the what?
The depth of your current roster.
The entire roster?
The entire, from all the divisions. How do you feel about, the talent the UFC has?
Really good. I think that, if you start to, I mean, the 55-pound division is nasty. Now, 70's nasty. I mean, as you go, when you look at the top 15 and all of the weight classes, we're in a pretty good place. You go through, it goes like this with different weight classes at different points in time, but yeah, we're really happy with where we're at.
Dana, around here, I know you're a big boxing fan. Did you happen to catch the Conor Benn Chris Eubank Jr. rematch tonight?
I didn't see it, but I got the updates on it. But I didn't see it.
And
I heard this crowd was going crazy out there. The fight everybody was really into the fight.
Yeah, and did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people will watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
Dana, over here.
Mm-hmm.
Back here. I know you mentioned Islam joining the GOAT debate potentially. Where do you rank Khabib in terms of GOATs of coaches?
I don't know. I don't rank coaches as GOATs.
Dana, quick one right over here.
Yep.
I know you spoke about Ethan Ewing already, but this is a guy who came across the country on 2 days' notice, shocked the world, and changed his life. What kind of message or notice do you think other fighters or lessons other fighters should take from something like that?
Well, I don't know if there's lessons to be learned by that. You're either that guy or you're not. It's not something like, oh, that guy did it, I should probably do that too. You're built differently than everybody else is, and yeah, it's just, even John Jones. I mean, you guys know how I feel about John Jones. John Jones turned down a short notice fight against Chael Sonnen because his team told him to. That's one of the most fucking, I still get mad when I think about it, how fucking dumb that was. But, this kid's wired differently than a lot of people are.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Dana, can you reflect on your relationship with ESPN and also look forward to the relationship with CBS Paramount Plus?
Yeah, all the Paramount CBS people were here tonight, and these guys are so fired up about this relationship. It just fires us up even more. So we're excited about it, and I look at the path that we've taken to get here. We started on Spike TV. From there, we went to Fox. Then we went to ESPN, and now we have this Paramount deal. It's almost like it's been the perfect trajectory, and I say it all the time publicly. I had a little bit of a rocky start with ESPN in a couple of different departments, but we ended up having an incredible relationship with them, and I have a lot of respect for ESPN and all the people that work there, and I appreciate everything they did for this company over the last 7 years.
Quick follow-up. How is Aspinall gone in the mix to be the first Paramount Plus CBS match?
We haven't even talked or thought about anything, and yeah. When I tell you guys that February, we're literally not even thinking about the White House fight yet because I want to see how the rest of this year plays out.
Hey Dana, what are your thoughts about Michael Morales' wins and what you should think is next for him?
Thoughts on Michael Morales? What do you think should be next for him? Michael Morales.
I don't know, sir. We won't think about that till Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one for me, going back to John Jones. I think he said yesterday he has nothing to apologize to you for. Did he ever apologize about the Chael Sonnen thing? Does he need to apologize?
I don't know if he did. I don't think so. I think that he was in a position where he had coaches in a team, and they all wanted to have input into what he did, and he listened to them, and fucking, that's fucking crazy. Anyway, yeah, no. I talked to John Jones last night, actually. Yeah. I got nothing to say about it. I don't know. I just talked to him last night. Good? Thanks, guys. Have a great night.